Yo, what's up, good people? I'm here for another review once again. This time I'm going to be reviewing a supernatural horror film, directed by let's see, Ernest R. Dickerson. I think that's his name. This movie is basically a movie that takes place around the late '70s. I think it takes place around '79. Uh, it stars Snoop Dogg, the rapper, as Jimmy Bones, a beloved neighborhood protector murdered in 1979, who basically comes back as a vengeful ghost after 22 years later to get revenge on his killers and clean up his crime-ridden community. It set up. It took place, the times when he was alive took place around '79. He was Jimmy Bones was this respected figure in his neighborhood. He was betrayed and murdered by a corrupt cop and a drug dealer, and his spirit is trapped in his brownstone. So basically, the resurrection of this figure took like 2 decades for it to be revived, and a group of teens buys the dilapidated brownstone to turn into a nightclub. Their renovation unknowingly releases Bone's spirit, which manifests through a dog, begins to resurrect, seeking vengeance. Now, as for the revenge, the Bones ghost, initially appearing as a demonic figure, which systematically hunts down and kills those responsible for his death, which kill, bringing him closer to full resurrection. As for like the film culminates in a fairy confrontation where Bones' former lover, which is Pearl, played by Pam Grier, sacrifices herself to help him find peace, leading to the collapse of the house and a final chilling twist involving one of the teens. Yeah, so basically that's what this film is based on. It's based on some ghosts, some some guy, some popular respect figure in the neighborhood that turned out to be a ghost town after 22 years. Um, let's see. Well, so what do I think about this movie? I'm gonna get to in a little bit. I'm trying to look at my notes here. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just basically some kind of horror, some kind of supernatural horror type, where it just basically becomes like the most creepy, scary, abandoned uh, tower that nobody should step foot in. Otherwise, creepy, haunting, ghosts will come out and haunt the ones that dare enter that 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 old brownstone. Yeah. As for Snoop Dogg, as an actor, I mean, I don't think I actually think that he's like, I mean, as an actor, I mean, I just think that he's basically not really that special in acting. Like I said, I'm not with singers and even rappers to be like any way good of acting. You know, just I'm just not. I'm just not that really. It's nothing really special about most of artists that turn out to be actors to play in a movie and stuff. You know, I mean, as for the Snoop Dogg's acting, I think Snoop Dogg's acting was pretty, pretty silly in a way that just, I don't know. It's just so fucking. I don't even know. Like it's just incredibly laughable at times. And just straight up a little goofy. You know, you got the jump rope rhyme. It says of Jimmy Bones that he has a switchblade loose on a diamond on his hand. The only knife Jimmy Bones is shown to carry is a butter knife, not a switchblade. So that's the part where I basically consider it to be, you know, silly. Yeah, so it's just really silly. It's just really, you know, nothing nothing special or anything. It's just that I don't know. It's just that his acting wasn't all that great in this movie. It was silly and kind of kind of goofy. You know, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of Snoop Dogg. I mean, I like some of his older shit from like the '90s or the 2000s rap, but he's way far. He's not really my favorite artist or anything. You know, he's not. You know, I mean, like I said, I like some of his older tracks. You know, I even liked his songs. You know, I used to have a friend that was really huge into Snoop Dogg. Um, yeah, so that my a friend of mine from California that I used to talk to actually was huge into Snoop Dogg, and he introduced me to like a bunch of his other unknown projects. Like for example, he introduced me to 7 Days of Funk, which is basically I don't know a side project, and of course his own song called Damn Funk. I mean, it's pretty good or whatever. It's pretty decent or whatever. But I'm just not a fan. I'm just not really into Snoop Dogg. He's not something that he's not the type of artist I enjoy or anything. There are some terrible songs I don't like from him or whatever, but that's just me. Um, yeah. So this is basically him trying to be like some kind of that figure that died and basically got resurrected by evil, by some dark spirit, and then he basically is looked as a dog, a lost dog. But then again, we all know that that dog was basically him the whole time of this movie. You know, as for this attempted to make a modern dress gothic melodrama that is like not really successful, Ernest Dickerson has like a good grasp of the iconography of horror films, but he can't put them together well enough to make a good scary movie. Like he borrows concepts and images liberally from Clive Barker, Dario Argento, Mario Bava, but all it shows us that he's a good copycat, not that he's a good stylist. From the idea of evil reviving itself by consuming victim, like Barker's Hellraiser, but cinematic alley dating at least back to Hammer's Dracula, Prince of Darkness from the 1965 through the brain of maggots Argento's magisterial suspiria to the disembodied hand reaching out of the darkness to torment the dead man's lover. Bava's masterpiece, Whip in the Body. There really is nothing here that we haven't seen before and better. The conceit of setting it in a ghetto with a old black cast promises an interesting variation on your basic revenge from beyond the grave scenario. But beyond the music and fashion, it's still a pretty cliche film. One of the problems that is that Dickerson just can't seem to leave well enough alone. Like the maggot scene, okay, it's raining maggots. It's terrifying. We get it already. Is it really necessary to go for the gross out by showing people eating them or the scene where Maurice is killed again, the dog spirit eats Maurice to give form and substance to Bones' cadaver. We get it. I mean, it's not necessarily to linger on the details of the chow down. It's never scary, it's just disgusting, even if it's attempted to inject humor or forced and heavy handed. With the idiotic scenes of Bones carrying the heads of his victims and having them carry on an interminably pointless conversation, and again, he doesn't show it to us once. There's at least three long scenes with the chatty heads, so whatever humor there was pounded into unconsciousness through reputation. But the most glaring problem with this movie is that we are asked to sympathize with a character who is, at bottom, just as big a bad guy in life as the crack dealers who murder him. Dickerson tries to show us Bones as the protector of his hood. But come on, he's exploiting his people just as much with his numbers game, or did it never occur to anyone asking how Bones got the money for his super duper fly crib? I think that's that you know that mafia group. I think it's the mafia group. Um, when everyone else around him lives in complete poverty, for a much better horror movie that reflects the black urban experience, rent Tales from the Hood instead. You know, yeah, this is basically an urban horror film for the urban audience. I'm assuming because it's for. I mean, this is a rap. I mean, this is a horror movie for hip hop fans because of Snoop Dogg. That I don't know. It's just that's how I look at it. It's like an urban horror film. And yeah, this is something that was basically been told. You know, horror. It's basically been giving us all the jump scares, all the fake jump scares that doesn't really scare me at all. It just makes me laugh. It just makes me cringe in some ways. You know. To be honest, I didn't want to see this movie, but I only wanted to check it out to see if it was gonna be at least decent. But I totally was wrong. Plus, I even placed a bet, with my coin, tails if I watch it, heads. No, heads if I watch it, tails I don't watch it, and then I completely lost to heads three times, and then I was like, okay, I have to watch this movie. Well, I don't think it's that great. It's cliche. It's just something that we've already seen multiple times from other horror films. I guess it's only different because it's a horror film, an urban horror film. I don't know, man. Like it's just it's nothing special. Nothing what I had in mind. It's especially Snoop Dogg in acting. I mean, I'm sorry, dude, but he doesn't he's nothing special in movies. Like he should just stick to being a rap star, you know. Yeah, that's all I got to say. This film is a joke. I mean, this film isn't something I was I was expecting or anything. It's not. It's whatever. Anyway, that's my review for Bones. The most forgettable movie of the early 2000s. I'll catch you guys in another review. I have one more review for you guys, so stay tuned. Peace.